languages that are not spoken by languages that are spoken by less than 10,000 claimants, which I'm sure so many people here work on mountain languages in the Himalayas. 10,000 can be a really big number. And 10,000 people, these languages are not named. So they are also othered. So there are two categories of others. Either speakers whose names are not, whose languages have not been named by the Linguistic Survey of India, done between 1896 and 1928, or those who have not been, who are spoken by too few people. Now you can imagine what a situation this creates then. So in fact, India is not counting the languages that are unknown, whose linguistic study has not classified them. It is not counting its smallest number of languages. In fact, the census of India 2011 tells us that 373 languages, mother tongues, are spoken, have not been counted because they are spoken by much less people. Okay. Now, one great effect that it has is, of course, established Hindi supremacy. So this principle by which you group mother tongues under the names of the scheduled languages, and Hindi is the fattest cat of them all, because it has 51 languages named grouped under it. That means that this is a language which is very numerous. So you can see this in this diagram here, that whole green section, all those mixed list of languages, those are all now renamed as Hindi by the Indian census. Okay. Now this, the census of India, which is the only way now that the government can actually officially get to know who speaks what in India, that this has been a crisis of credibility, but since 1971. And in fact, since 1971, actually since 1981 particularly, but since 1971, we've seen this completely crazy fluctuation. So raw returns in 1971 were 3,000. There was no classified, unclassified distinction in those two censuses, right? And we don't know the number at least. And there were only 15 scheduled languages because only 15 were listed in there. As you can see that the list of mother tongues in total mother tongues was 209. In census 2011, they have become 270 mother tongues. 1981, you can see in 91, you can see a huge inflation in language raw returns, so 10,400, and then the number of unclassified languages keeps on fluctuating, sometimes it is growing. So basically, this is the only reliable, supposedly reliable measure, which is totally unreliable. And we sometimes get to know how many languages have been not been counted because they are spoken by too few people, and that number also varies. So really we don't know anything about what is who speaks what in India. Now why does this matter? It matters because I think this has been mentioned many times for people familiar with studies of the Indian linguistic diversity, that it matters because our constitution gives us certain rights. And there are many provisions. It provides for an official language, and there it says Hindi language in addition to any English language, and the Devanagari form of numerals. It allows for languages of the state, which is any language spoken in the state, and you can use these languages